Alright then, so our goal today is going to change out these linkage as well as these bushings. As you can see here, I have the vehicle jacked up. I have some tools here ready to go. And the first things first, obviously jack it up to get the weight off of this control arm to keep this thing, not being able to push up, because it's a lot easier to get everything reassembled whenever everything is just there's any compression or weight on this sort of thing. So yeah, so the first thing to do, we're gonna take these linkages off. The sizes up here are all over the place on the top nut, like ranging from 14 millimeter to 9/16, and then I think in this case I had to move all up to 16 millimeter. It's annoying. At least the 14 millimeter is at the head here, but just make sure to just get your sizes, because again, like it depends on your manufacturer and all. Like the nuts always all over the place, and all, but the bolt seems to be fairly consistent. So we're gonna get this off first. So let's get that off. Next after that is gonna be removing these, and these are pretty consistent because this came from the manufacturer. So this is about let's say 10 millimeter. Extension is necessary in order to be able to reach in here, because if not, you're gonna try to fit the tool in here and all that. And it will also help too if you're to get some silicone grease. You could apply it, before or after. Before preferred, but after is also fine too, if you're able to get in there and all that. So let's get this knocked out. As you're taking it off, take note of if it wasn't installed properly, which these are, where all the components are placed. In this case, you got the bolt facing upwards, pointed upwards, and then you have a bushing in between the bolt here and the control arm, and then another bushing on the other side of that, and then a washer, and then the body of the link control arm, or the body of the link, which is that little kind of bar looking thing is there, another washer, another bushing, and then on the other side another bushing after that, and then you got your other washer at the very top with a nut. Sometimes the nut and washer will be in the same thing. So yeah, so this is in this case it's a combination that's going together. Other times it's just a single nut, now, which is what this part that I look at. Again, like the manufacturers are all over the place. It's annoying, but it's what it is. But yeah, just slip her off like so. Another rule of thumb too is basically, if it's going to make contact with metal, especially between this and this, bushings are going to be around it. So as you can see here, so here is like kind of like this kind of assembly. You got your body here, then you got your, whereas like middle in this area is perfectly fine. It's just here is where it's, you don't want it to be like, I guess, damaging. I guess, I mean, this I guess doesn't really matter, but of course, you don't want to damage this or this, because these are a lot more expensive to replace and all that. So yeah, and I mean, if you want to have it as a reminder too as well, just kind of keep it like this. That way you can use it as a reference for the future. It's pretty handy, if you're having a hard time remembering how big things go. You just put it here. All right, I'm gonna take care of the other side now. So it's gonna slide over. Yeah, and you want to take these off first before you take these off, because this being down and then having, it turns into a mess. It's a lot easier just to take off the linkages off first. Slide it over here. Again, this should be the same size, but we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, I mean, if you can get 2 inches in here, great. At times you probably need to have this little flat wrench. I mean, I'm using a speed wrench because, I mean, not really doing a lot of tension here. I mean, I think according to the manual, it says 116 inch-pounds, which isn't much. It's just tight, but not too tight. You know, you don't want to squish the hell out of it a lot. And there's plenty of torque wrenches out there that, you know, are in a 3/8 drive like this one here. And honestly, I mean, you know, you can get by with a 3/8 drive just fine for this particular kind of job. And all that. Make sure we're looking at the right stuff here. All right, so let's this thing. Because in this case, it was a 16 millimeter for this one. But what's going on? Well, we'll be replacing it. I think it's a 15 millimeter. Like I said, manufacturers have different sizes for the nut up top. That's what I noticed from every time I've had to change this thing out. Yeah, it's annoying when you have a job, because then, you know, you can't just use one thing both in and out. You have to change it out. It's a pain in the ass. It's what it is. All right, see, there you go. Came loose. Come on, get over here. There we go. Now we're talking. All right, so let's reassemble. Again, no, just doesn't hurt having more references, I guess. Oops, wrong way. Like this, actually. There we go. That's the control arm, and well, it's a Sway Bar. I've also heard it called a stabilizer bar. Same thing. It's just you know, preferences, I guess. It's up to you. All right, this is replaced. Well, after this is removed, let's take care of these two pieces here. And the bar isn't too heavy. It's like a few pounds. It's like a hollow kind of thing. It's not anything crazy. So just obviously don't put your head right underneath it. These are about like 30 foot-pounds, so these require a little more oomph to get them loose, but they shouldn't be that hard to do. I used to live up north, and the Rust Belt, which in that case these are going to be held to replace or to remove, for that matter. But down south, we don't have to worry about that. It's just normal rust from just age, wear and tear. Nothing too crazy. Bolts kind of are a little long, so I mean, if you're able to get this thing on a drill and have it powered, hey, more power to you, man. Speed can go quite along, but I'm doing it by hand because this is what most people will have to be forced to utilize. Not everybody has access to power tools. Obviously, don't lose your bolts. You don't want to. You have to go to O'Reilly's in that little bolt section, trying to match up, you know, the correct one on there, and pray they actually even have it. I mean, there's only so many bolts they can have available to draw upon. All right. Pain in the ass, man. Very long bolts. There we go. Another one down. Come on. Of course. 10mm curse. Oh, you little bastard. And no, I could be damaging the threads, but I'm just trying to knock it loose. I'm not doing a lot of smacking around. Alright, let's get the last two knocked out. Actually, the only thing I need to pay attention is just these, because again, 30 foot-pounds, bit of a, again, you don't want to come loose right on the road. Again, this is probably the one thing that's probably keeping the truck from swinging around all over the place. Especially you got to swerve around people who are really booking it around here. Let's go a little closer. So pretty much you're kind of off to the races trying to get this thing off a lot. Actually, a little smart here. Just about a little bit. Loose, so the whole thing just comes smacking on your head. Alright. Drink it loose. You know, as a rule of thumb too, it's probably, you know, it doesn't hurt to keep both this and the linkage and sync when it comes to maintenance cycles, because I mean these do wear out over time, and you know you see them cracking, falling apart, and you know that. I mean, like and like again, they're very similar in life when it comes to like wear and tear. It doesn't hurt just to have them in sync. Doesn't hurt. There we go. Okay, and then we go. There we go. Fantastic. And so it's about like 8-10 pounds at most. It is steel though, so again, don't put your head in it. But alright, yeah, I got this out. So after that, it's just sliding these things off and then getting the bushing off, and likewise the other side knot. So let's get that off now. Should come off that easily, just like that. Should just slip her off like so, like that. And voila, here you got your bushings. Come off. Like that. They're relatively good shape, you know, they have a lot of wear on them. And they're not cracking. But still, I mean, I might as well replace them. They're relatively cheap to replace. There we go. Go just like that. Bring off these bits here. Also, what I've also done is kind of help make this thing kind of last a little longer. Is this little bar that I have sanded down the demo for, and I have spray painted the high temp, and it's held up pretty good. But all right, when I remember reading in the manual, it said to put the slits forward. When you put it on, have the slits face forward in the vehicle. So I go to look over the manual again. Probably take some notes, but yeah, just pop it on like so. And pop it on like so. am I doing here? What am I doing wrong? So I'm trying to go the other way, actually. Because the end result's gonna be like this. So, see where I made the mistake? I'm thinking here. So, I might have to flip these the other way, actually. I think. Yeah, I flip these the other way. You also gotta check where you're facing stuff. Make sure you're doing it right. Alright, it's like that. Pretty much like that. Okay, cool. And yeah, the other side's correct. It just goes like that, like so. Just like that. Alright, I'm gonna get some grease. Got some grease. I've always heard like silicone being used, but I mean, I guess as long as it's not anything that's going to eat up this rubber, it should be generally fine. So how I've done it before is I've taken this out, got a little bit of grease in here, not a lot, just enough. It does help a little bit with the overall, like, trying to reduce friction, make sure this thing, you know, glides around smoothly and all that. Put a little bit on there. Okay, don't need a lot. And just pop her on there. If it wants to just work with me, there we go. And just move her around a little bit. And that grease will get all around up in there. That's it. Don't need a lot. All that. Alright, got that back in place. Let's get the other one. Got this one down over here. A little bit of grease. This bad boy. Alright, and just slide around like so. Not being difficult. And just cruise around like that. There we go. Should be nice and greasy. And pop her in like so. Alright, now we're cooking on fire now. Give me that. Alright, now let's get this thing reassembled now. So we're gonna get this put away. Alright. This comes the tricky part. So let me get this like so here. And put this up here. It's annoying. Okay. Get up there. We're just gonna do this slowly and painfully. Just gonna hand thread in there. Don't need a lot. Of course, do what you can and try to avoid cross-threading. That would help out a lot. Actually, what am I doing? Get this out of the way. Get the other side up first. Alright, come on, baby. Right about here. Good. Yeah, doesn't need a lot of threads, just a little bit. Get that in there next. Come on, baby. Get in there. And if all else fails, you know, I'm having a little bit of help. Getting that bolt in there. Yeah, just a few threads. Doesn't need a lot. Just enough to hold it in place. Let's get this last one in here. Alright, let's get this worked in. Okay, let's get the next one in. Yes, should for the most part just give you just little to no fighting. If for some reason you're having to force it, you're like trying to knuckle it and all that, it probably means that you're stripping the bolt somewhere. So just make sure you at least have that as a check and all that available to you. This one here, I'm probably stripping it, so I'm gonna back it off a little bit. Also, of course, it doesn't hurt to have, you know, get a little lube on the threads a little bit to kind of make sure you have a smooth pathway in. Make sure I'm actually getting this right, because I do not want to cross thread this shit. Or cross thread it and or strip it. It should be hard to do because there shouldn't be any threading really on this thing. It should be just a hole for this to just slip through. Because there should be just a thin piece of metal, as you can see here. It's a thin piece of metal. When you feel this thing, you'll know it's like it's only a thin piece of metal between this and there, and it's just a hollow. It's hollow on the inside there and all that. So it shouldn't be giving you much difficulty. But also stick in mind too, there's probably rust, so it probably give you a little bit of fighting. But again, like, it shouldn't be nowhere near the actual torque specs, which I looked them up just to confirm. And it's actually 26 foot-pounds, not 30. But still, you know, there's a little bit of oomph to it. And of course, as you're tightening it, make sure, you know, this thing stays within here. You don't want it just slipping out too much. So you see here, it's pretty much in line for the most part. You know, you don't want it to be all mushed up and not being because I mean, any extra friction in this thing is going to make this, you know, this functionality of this bar a lot more difficult. Because I mean, obviously this bar is important to keep your vehicle steady and stable and not wobbling all over the place, especially if you make turns and whatnot. Okay, I have it hand tight for the most part. hand tight as well. Alright, snug it up. Alright, let's see if I remember how to do this torque wrench thing. This little guy. This little guy will be enough for me or not. Alright, let's see. Should be something as simple as 26. Okay. And let's see if it'll measure it. Nope. Close. Seems that. So we have to figure out how to work it. Yep, 26 it is. There we go. I don't loosen that. Just got a little loose. Well, I've got this thing a little loose out of there, so it's in here. 26, baby. Come on. Yep, that's it, right? And 26 for here. There we go, 26. Gotta shake it loose. There we go. Alright, torque down. Alright, now let's get these little links back in place. Get this out of the way. Get this in place, this in place, this in place. Alright, so we're going to get this like so. So we're going to get this in place like so. Yeah. I'm going to go washer, this guy. And we're going to get, so these flat parts are going to be making contact with the washer. And this little cup part is going to be making contact with the with whatever component you're going to be doing. It's either going to be the control arm or here. I'm only going to show one because it's going to be like the same for the other, so it'll be kind of redundant to show them both. So I'm just going to show it like this, like so. So get this out of the way for a little bit. Get that in place there. After that, you get this little body piece, like so. That's right. No, I'm an idiot. Washer. There we go. Then get link. Sounds good. Then we get another washer. Then we get another bushing. Make sure the flat part's facing down, and that's to make contact with that. Right there. We get another washer, another bushing. We're just facing the cup parts facing down because to make contact with the stabilizer bar. Another washer, and then we finally got our nut up top. And then we assemble this whole thing together and just tighten it down to that. So hopefully that wasn't too fast, but that's pretty much what you're going to be doing. Let's see if I can get this thing to cooperate with me. Squish it down a little bit. That way I can figure out why this thing is wanting to be difficult with me. You may have to just grab like the first couple of threads or so to get it to actually just start feeding properly in this damn thing. It's not gonna be easy, but I mean, when it works, it works. Come on, baby. It's like one washer short of this whole damn thing. It's annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten it down a little bit. I think this should be a 14 or 15. Let's check in real time. This manufacturer decided to go with a, it's like a 14. Let's try it. Huh. Well, let's go standard. It's at a 9/16. This 14 looks really tight. It's a bit too tight. Looks like a 9/16. It's close enough to that. So we're gonna go 9/16 up top. We're just gonna squish it just a little bit, just to get the damn thing. Of course. Then we got I believe a 14 or 15 down below. Okay. 15 up top, 15 down below. And just squish it enough just to get it in place, like so. What am I doing? Wrong. A little bit of a squish just to get it in place. There we go. Alright, now I should be able to have enough threading. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with fire now. Fantastic. So let's get this thing off. Let's get a new one on. Like so. 15. That's 15, alright. That's a big boy wrench though. Come on, 15. Where are you? 15. 14. 14. 14 millimeter actually. Cool. And then we're gonna do 132 inch-pounds. So let's go. It'll take a while. I get this thing all calibrated. Let me double check to make sure. 150 inch-pounds. So we're gonna move her all the way down over here. Thankfully, this thing will support that. If you ever get like one of these, electronics preferred. Obviously, you got to deal with batteries, but at the end of the world, some of these batteries are relatively common. You know, CR123s or anything else like related to that. So 150. Cool. And this one requires you to just do it this way. It seems like, and we'll get her torqued down now. No, that way. Check it's actually measuring or not. I don't think it's actually measuring here. Okay. Measure for me, please. There we go, yeah, it's measuring. So I was gonna double check this thing. Alright, it's gonna be a while. Try to be careful not to turn that down too much, because you don't want to squish it down too much. If you over tighten it, and you run into the trouble of this thing being over torqued, and this thing will not be able to function correctly after that. So you don't want to do that too much, but pretty much you just gotta tighten it down. I'm trying to see if this thing will actually measure it correctly or not, but it will. Seem like it probably will though. The fallback I've also been told and heard and so on and so forth is that pretty much you gotta just tighten it down until you see it actually squish like that. So it's like pretty much gonna be like that for the most part. So this looks about torqued correctly and all that. So I mean, if it's pushed down enough out there, that's usually gonna be enough to be torqued properly. I mean, even though this thing says 150 inch-pounds, I don't want to be pushing it too much, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you just repeat the same thing on the other side. So again, a slight squish on the bushings. That's pretty much it. As you can see here, it is measuring it. You know, 27 inch-pounds, but yeah. Anyways, though, like I said, like this is more just like a feel, kind of like looking there, because I mean, every manufacturer's gonna be a little different. For the most part, the bushings should be the same, but you never know. But like the rule of thumb is basically just to have it just slightly squish like the bushings, and if you see them, like kind of pretty much fill the void. That's pretty be there. That should be enough. But yeah, but this obviously up here is definitely going to matter a lot more, and it'll be a lot more solid on your torque specs and all that. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. I'm going to take it to the other side, and this job will be done. But yeah, just pretty much do the same thing on the other side and all that.